All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to our Meet the Honors Faculty series. This is the first one we're doing for the fall 2026 semester. And we're very excited to be joined by one of our newest, actually the newest member of our honors faculty, Dr. Mohit Prodhan. Hello, how are you? And much like, as I'm sure all of you who have followed this series from the beginning know, we're going to run through some questions and have an opportunity to sort of chat with Dr. Prodhan and see, who he is and what brought him to us. So the very first question is, where are you from? What brought you to A&M Texarkana? How'd you get here?
Hi, at first I'd like to thank you, Dean Dr. Nakashian.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me here. It's my opportunity to share some of my lived experience with a broader community. So originally I'm from Bangladesh,
Mhm.
and my academic and professional journey brought me United States. So after I did my Doctor of Social Work from Texas, and one of the institute from University of Texas, Stephen F. Austin State University. Then before my graduation, fortunately, I confirmed my job A&M Texarkana.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's bring me here, and I am doing as my second semester in academia,
Mm.
and I am very excited and as my teaching philosophy student center.
Mhm.
So I always try to connect with students and their lifelong educational journey, how they achieve their goal. So
Yeah, that's you're quite yeah, you are quite new to academia. That's right. You just graduated with the doctorate, yeah, in December, I think it was. So
yes.
very exciting. Very excited that you're here, and very excited that you've jumped into honors. Thank you, by the way. So yeah, that gets us to the sort of next question. You have a doctorate in social work, so you're in the social work field. What got you interested in your discipline? What drew you to social work?
So actually my lived experience, my grow up and my family background, poverty, different types of uh, socio-economic limitation,
Hmm.
and that helps me to rethink about the society, how we can change. So then my undergrad, graduate, and my doctor, everything in social work, and my focus is like to do something for the broader community. So that's try to help people, and social work is a field then you can help individually, group, community. So that's bring me like something change, and I always believe change from myself. At first I change from myself, then I can show something for others. So yeah, that's bring me here and as a social work researcher or academician.
So what kind of you mentioned a bit about your interests. What within social work would your research, your teaching, what is there particular subfields to it that you're really into?
So yeah, actually I always declare myself as a unique researcher, like lived experience.
Okay.
What I see that I try to change. So my main focus is humanity-centered practice, like compassion, love. That's how we can kindness, selflessness, how we can practice. So it's kind of practice. And then I try to bring it with there are my secondary research field like spirituality, disaster management, and AI, ethical AI in social work. So
Hmm.
I always try to connect with the whole of the things with my social work practice. And also I declare myself as a practitioner, a scholar, or a scholar practitioner.
Hmm.
Like what I am practicing, I try to bring in my classroom with the students, and then I try to make it like a scholarship, and then practice, then service, like the circle, you know, like we
Hmm.
are practicing, like right now I can give you an example. So I already got my IRB approval from A&M Texarkana that I'm doing like AI, how humanity centered AI practice in Texas area.
Hmm.
So and then my thing is I try to involve my students with my research, then they have the real experience, what is in the community level, the that's field going on. So they have, and then I try to submit some proposal in the conference, and my main goal is publish something with my students. So that brings students so they have the real experience how we can apply for IRB, do the city training, do some real research work, present in the conference, and also publish something in peer review journal. So
Oh.
that's kind of whole thing as a scholar practitioner. And also this my experience also, that helps me, my professor. I learn from my professor also. That's the whole thing.
Hmm.
Like not extra pressure. And also a trained track professor, we have to maintain everything. So that's also helps me everything. Yeah. Check
Right.
and balance.
So that's interesting. So your research interests being things like, the humanity-centered practice, spirituality,
Yes.
love, emotion, that sort of thing. Also with this AI idea, where
Yes.
obviously the concern with AI is that it's
Yeah.
taking the place of humanity or
Yeah.
dehumanizing or whatnot. So how do you marry those two things together?
Okay, so in social work, like as a social worker,
Hmm.
so even as a professor, history professor, we always think about the social problems. We try to navigate the social problems, and there is two things we have to find out: what is problem and where is limitation.
Hmm.
Everything is not a problem. There is some limitation also, and AI is not a problem. AI is something we have to learn how we can handle this ethically.
Hmm.
Very like ethical way, whoever the student, whoever the professional, whoever the professor, everyone. And AI, there is limitation. AI, they don't have empathy and they are not human. We forget the two part. Sometimes we talk with AI, we forget, oh, AI, they don't have empathy
Right.
and they're not human. So I try to connect, so my humanity practice model, like how we can ethically use AI as a human centered AI. So when, as a practitioner, like social work practitioner, when we talk with the client, we have to be very careful about how we are using AI.
Right.
Even as a graduate student or undergrad student, we always use AI. As a professor, we always use it, but we have to be careful. Like when you are writing something, when you are checking something, doing assignment, like how we can handle, we try to be very careful the question.
Hmm.
So critical thinking is important. You have to be, when you ask question to AI, ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot, whatever the tools you are using, you as make AI as a tools, and you have to be careful the question.
Right.
You have to be very careful about the question, then they can give you the good answer. So and always like my humanity center, like at the end of the day, we are doing everything for the human, for the betterment for the community, betterment for the society.
Very cool. So what attracted you to joining the honors faculty?
So my teaching philosophy is student centered,
Hmm.
and as a EMIC researcher, I did mention like my education, my practice, my scholarship, my service is a circle. So then I found like A&M Texarkana. So is a regional university, rural university. My another thing is I always try to work with the rural community. And Texas is a very welcoming state for my lived experience. Texas community is very welcoming. So I try to connect with the community. And then, so, and the honors student, you know, so they are kind of, especially the first generation, those who are first generation, they try to set their academic goal.
Hmm.
So how they try to set their academic goal, and my main target is try to help them academic goal and how they achieve the goal. That's the main thing. Like not focus a big scenario, like set a goal. If you set someone as a goal, oh, this is their goal, then they can drive their car, their life. Oh, this is my goal, I have to focus on that.
Hmm.
So I always try to, for my lips, so I am here, my journey is not easy. So I always share my student, my journey. Today
Right.
I am here because of my set a goal, and then I like our A&M Texarkana thing: think big, dream big, do big. So you have to be that part. So I always like little bit, try to in my classroom environment, try to student, oh, this is your goal. It's not in general, it's personal thing. Do not publish it. Be silent and try to achieve the goal. And honors is a very good platform. Then you can help a student. And as a student, when they have a set a goal, when they change their life, it's not only change their life, they can change their family, they can change their community, and is a bigger way change the nation.
Hmm. Oh, that makes sense. So the next sort of corollary question to that is, if you're talking to honors students or just in general, what would you say you would want honors students or would you want students to get out of honors? Like what sort of experience in the honors college would you recommend students, make sure you do this in college? What kind of experiences do you think are important for them?
Yeah, the I think the three thing is important. As I mentioned earlier, like as a personal goal, what you are doing,
Hmm.
try to connect with professor.
Right.
That's very important. And understand the culture of the university, culture of the community, culture of the academic environment. I think if balance the three things, that very easier they can achieve the things.
Mm.
Culture is very important. You have to learn the university culture, academic culture, because we have like we are when we after high school or college, the university culture is totally different.
Right.
So that's a shock sometimes. So learn, try to understand the culture.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. I mean, the idea of getting to know your faculty, reaching out to them, seeing them as a resource. You already mentioned that you do research with your students and everything, and obviously that is a focus for honors as well, which is great. But even just getting to know your faculty as mentors and as people, yeah, that can be tough for students. Coming from that high school environment, it's a different world in a lot of ways. Speaking of which, is there anything that, looking back on your own kind of time in school, is there anything you wish you knew as a student that you know now? Like any advice you would give to marginally younger Mohit?
Yeah. So one thing is, yeah, so I should not know everything before getting the program, or sometimes I need to learn everything. Is and you cannot satisfy everyone. That's the real truth. Sometimes we forget, oh, I need to satisfy you. It's impossible.
Hmm.
Every relationship is different. So so that's that sometimes we demotivated, you know so that's the thing. So do focus on thing, and honesty and integrity is important.
Hmm.
Focus something, try to do something, little bit, and then change the thing. So yeah, so when I first, like as a first generation, so like in a very uh, lower income family, so that's sometimes demotivated, like
Hmm.
scared to meet with the whole thing. So yeah.
Do you think you would have listened if you gave yourself that advice, back in the day? I mean, would you would
Yeah.
have you would have taken it in good?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Any advice I would have given to myself at that age, I can tell you I would have ignored. So you were you were better than I. So any last thoughts or anything else you want to share with us before we go?
So my last advice is just focus on your dream. Do not share your dream without any reason with anyone.
Hmm.
Try to spend some time with yourself. Self care is important,
Hmm.
and you cannot satisfy everyone.
Okay.
So
Well,
that's my laptop.
excellent life advice. Thank you again, Dr. Prodhan, for joining us. I will go ahead and get this uploaded to our YouTube channel. And thank you all who are now watching this out in the YouTube universe, as it were. We appreciate it, and stay tuned for our next chapter. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.